Mindo's ready. BabyMarine is happy. Let's do it. The rematch. Honestly, the first time in a long time that I've done like a short rematch. I know there's a few matches in the Big Brain Bouts that we did more than once. Like a Clem Serral, I think we did twice. Something with Reynor and Clem we did at least twice. But something like this we haven't really done yet before. But I think in this day and age, just kind of looking for stuff that I get excited over. And trying to build some stories around these guys. I thought the last series was way too one-sided. And I thought it could be way closer. If it's another trio, I'm just wrong, right? Then Mindo is just quite a bit better than BabyMarine, but I really think this should be close. This should be competitive. We have a different map pool than last time. Let's do it. I'm a big Brabba fan as well. I love Brabba. I like Mindo as well, though. Mindo's always been very kind to me. So, I've got no issues. He did take a lot of my ladder points, but it is what it is. Same goes for BabyMarine, to be honest. They both have been stealing my ladder points for too many years. If I ever retire, it may just be because of these two. So, let's do it. The rematch. A couple weeks ago, give or take a month, it was 3-0 for the Russian Protoss. Today, it should really be closer. Let's get it done.
Let's get it on.
Round 1. Fight.
Top left side of Incorporio. These map names, guys. Incorp. In Incorp, we are looking at what the hell's. Okay, this looks weird, no? We are looking at the main base of the Russian Protoss, trying to get back-to-back wins over the Italian. This is MindelVK. Bottom right side, we are looking at the main base of Streamer Zone's very own BabyMarine. This map is neat. It's standard, but it's not. We have a Zelnaga watchtower in the center. Nice logo placement. Well done, Pi. By the way, tomorrow, guys, we have the first edition of the Platinum Heroes Cup. I've got a busy weekend coming up. Got a lot of things that I want to dive into, that I want to learn more about. Then on Sunday, Vicky got invited to check out new Volvos. My lady is in love with the Swedish cars, and we're going to a Volvo dealership. I don't think either Vicky or me can buy a new Volvo anytime soon, but we got invited, and we're going to be there. They're going to have some champagne. It's going to be great. And obviously tomorrow we have the Platinum Heroes Starcraft tournament, so that should be fun. Did you ever try to make a map before? No. In my Command & Conquer Red Alert days, mate, when I was just like a little RTS nerd, I used to love making my own maps. I would play 1 against 7 AIs with the most imbalanced map ever, you know. I'm on one side, all the AIs are on the other side. The only way they can attack me is through a bridge. And I'd have a million Tesla coils just killing everything, and I get all the rich minerals. So in my Command & Conquer Red Alert days, I loved making maps, but in Warcraft 3 or Starcraft 2, I never bought it. It just got like way too intimidating for me. I'm not talented enough. I have a lot of respect for the map makers, because that seems pretty hard. Driving a new Volvo to the Homesteader Cup? No, way too early. It's more like, on Sunday, mate, we're going for a scout. On Sunday, we are scouting to see what Vicky's dreams are made out of. And if the scouting goes well, then we're going to save up for a little bit. And then Vicky's going to sell her current car and then so get a new Volvo. That is the build order for the year. But Homesteader Cup comes a little too early for that. And there is no rush. Her current Volvo is still beautiful. Standard. The second adept before the Twilight is something that I would say is maybe not totally standard. I like to get a quicker Twilight cancel, but Mindo apparently likes to do it like this. Polestar is the thing. You have to convince her, mate. It's her car, not mine. She loves Volvo. I think Volvo makes nice cars, to be fair. So I understand where some of the love and appreciation comes from. I don't really have a car brand that I would say that I'm like very loyal to. But the only 2 cars that I've truly owned in my life were Volkswagen. Both Golf. One was very cool. A GTI over in America. That was my baby. I had a lot of fun with it. A little accident here and there. Got pulled over once or twice. But I love that car. The one that I had over here was not very special. Double Hellion into triple Widowmine? No, quad Widowmine. Double Hellion into quad Widowmine is the opening here for BabyMarine. Roddy and his Lambo. Roddy and his nothing right now, mate. Roddy's got nothing. But maybe at the very end of the year, if we do well, if we cast that Esports World Cup, we can go for some shops. we can get something again. But right now I've got nothing. I rely on Vicky's Volvo. Thank you, by the way, to Truth, Honor, Justice for joining us for the first time with Prime. I appreciate it, mate. Welcome. Let's see if BabyMarine can find what he is looking for here. I think with an opening like this, we want at least 6 probes. And ideally, we save a couple of these mines. Oh, can we get more? That's a lot of Wither mines. That's a lot of Wither mines. The Hellions are in, but the probe actually killed the Hellion. Oh! One good. Oh, okay, this is good. So much lost mining time, 5 probes and a stalker. And the MindelVK lives with 3 Wither mines, yeah. I'd say this was a successful opening, guys, for the tiny Italian stallion. We can live with this. It was a 3-0 for Mindel Coder a couple weeks ago. Unfortunately for BabyMarine, he got a little bit greedy. He wanted to come back for round 2, but now Blink is done. And with that, he ends up losing the MindelVK. So I'd still say it was okay, but now it's less okay. If we would have just saved those units, it would have been a whole lot better. The Banshee follow-up. There is no cloak, but there's a shield battery in the main. That's something that BabyMarine does not know, I think, now. So, if BabyMarine would know what we know, then he would just send that into the natural. It would be a lot better for that Banshee to go straight into the natural. The main base, he's not going to get much done. You fly straight into the natural, you should be able to get something done. Which brand is that? What is an Elantra? Is he gonna go for this? He is gonna go for it. Leads the charge with 1 stalker. Blinks across the bunker. Gets the tank. Gets the bunker too. Excellent decision making here by Mindel. As he does pull all the probes away from a Banshee. This was really not necessary, guys. There's only 1 Banshee and he's got a shield battery. So Mindel actually did a lot of damage there to himself. Yeah, that's a bit silly. Against double Banshee, you need to pull probes, of course, because then a shield battery won't save you. But against a single Banshee, you really don't have to pull probes. Get an X5 diesel. With X5 you mean BMW? I think that's such a big car. I am not really, I don't know. I know I'm a big man. And I know I'm older, but I feel like those massive cars, they don't suit me. It wouldn't make me very happy to drive something that big. Something that is a bit of a dream car and that is like maybe somewhat realistic if I behave well for like a year is like a Mercedes A-Class AMG, like A45. That's kind of like a dream car. I'd love that. Or a BMW 1 Series, but not like an X5 is way too big. If I ever end up with 3 kids and 2 dogs, maybe I get an X5. Mustangs are awesome, but they're very rare here. BabyMarine working with a nice little supply lead and only down 5 workers. That is something that you absolutely sign for. There is a War Prism into the main base. That War Prism absorbed a Widow Mine shot, so it's very low on HP. BabyMarine overall looking pretty sharp here. One big mistake, and I think that was trying to come back with that initial Widow Mine drop, but outside of that, I feel like he's played well. Maybe an X7, also way too big, man. Those really big BMWs is a bit much. BabyMarine is moving out, but the Stalkers are still here. This means that we are playing with fire. Also means that perhaps Mindo is playing with fire, because Mindo has to know that that main army is no longer here. What are we doing? Why are we attacking these rocks? What do we gain out of that? 1 Colossus is out. We're going to burrow some Widow Mines. War Prism is still chilling behind the main base. Cannot get recalled because he just recalled the Stalkers. So once the Viking is out, it should be a kill. What's your favorite mega awesome supercar? I like the car that Jake and Bake has. And if you guys are familiar with Jake and Bake, he's an IRL streamer. He goes to China all the time. He does a lot of cool streams. He drives a Porsche 911 GT RS2 or something like that. I really like that car. I think it's amazing. I'm very jealous of it. Let's say that is a dream car. Of course, like some of those Ferraris and Lambos are very cool as well. I wouldn't say no, but I like that tiny, mega fast Porsche. Like, it's so cool. One spotting stalker with a probe going out, going for a spotting pile. And this double drop definitely has some potential. Mindo is, I want to say, spread a little thin, right? He's got a lot of things to worry about right now. BabyMarine doing an excellent job in creating multiple problems. A tiny Terran is playing good. This is a fight that I would not commit to if I was BabyMarine. I think he killed his own medevac there as well. The Widow Mines are good. But this army is also stuck. BabyMarine. Now you're forced to take a fight that I really don't think you want to take. I think he accidentally killed his own medevac. That double drop in the main though is cooking on serious gas. So Mindo gets a really big victory in the top right side. BabyMarine gets an excellent victory with this double drop that is still going. Will eventually get shot down. You wouldn't think that this in the end was good for BabyMarine with how much he lost in the top right side. And I think he killed his own medevac, as I said, made retreating impossible. But yeah, still good. Supply still looks very good, and it's already a much better showing than it was a month ago. Here in the rematch between Mindo and BabyMarine. People think you're an asshole in BMW. They will think that you never use your turn signals. I don't want to come across like I'm a saint or an angel, but I always use my turn signals. In everything. Even if I'm in the absolute middle of nowhere. And no one can see me. Not even the Starlink satellites know where I am. I always use my turn signals. It just feels like I'm committing a crime every single time I don't use it. Even if there is no one around me in a 10-mile radius, I will still use my turn signals. Banned from driving BMWs. It's alright. I think they're cool, and some of them are very pretty, but I don't know. It's just not. I don't look at it and be like, that's what I want. Which lane do you stay in the autobahn? Okay, this is a bad part of me, but I like the middle lane. And I know that's not allowed, but I feel like I drive too fast for the right lane, but I'm also too slow to always be in the left, so I like the middle. Widowmine connections on the Zealots are quite good. The Viking count is a 7. I know you're not allowed to be in the middle forever, by the way. I'll go to the right if there's no one around, but most of the time, if it's a 3-lane setup, I like the middle. BabyMarine just needs to buy some time. He has a lot of money, by the way, 1100 minerals. You don't really want to take a potential game-deciding fight with this much money in the bank right before 2-2, right before extra ghost. Our medevac count is really low. Viking count high, medevac count very low. I want to say, I feel like BabyMarine is close to reaching the finish line where his army just becomes a lot stronger. But right now, there is a chance that MindelVK can still steal away a 1-0 lead here. But Mindo is also afraid of sending it into that many Vikings, which I can understand. We are 15 seconds away from BabyMarine having +2 attack, +2 armor. That would be massive. A couple force field, that's very nice. This bunker here will buy some time. Just wait, BabyMarine. Just stall. Just don't lose your Vikings. Temporarily lifting the orbital is fine. He's gonna lose it. That's a little unfortunate, but it's better than losing the game. I think BabyMarine can take a good fight. There's so many force fields. So many force fields. Now he is supply block. Losing all these SVs would be painful. Oh my goodness. Medevac picks up 8 of them. That's it. This Protoss army is omega stuck. The medevac comes back. Marines and Marauders are thinking of steaming forward. What an awkward fight. The most awkward fight I've seen in a while. I think this really has to do with the inexperience that MindelVK has on this map too. In the end, a couple of Stalkers escape, but this man just kind of walked into his own death trap. Obviously dealt a lot of economic damage. There are some Widow Mines left behind. 2 mines not enough to deal with 7 Zealots. Well, that was very awkward. And now I think BabyMarine says, F it, you know what, I don't care anymore, I'm sending it. And is this army good enough to straight up win the game? One Colossus is about to come out, we're gonna have to lift the Vikings. This is really it. I think the Terran army is strong. I think it's very strong, but every stim is going to hurt because these medevacs have no energy. A very close game 1 in this best of 5 between MindelVK and BabyMarine. BabyMarine does a great job, I think, here with the Vikings. Now land the Vikings, mate. Land the Vikings. You have to land them immediately. That's what he does. Is it BabyMarine? Is it Mindo? I think it's Mindo, right? With all the Stalkers, Zealots, probes. Is it Mindel? BabyMarine has a lot of units at home, but yeah, those can make it to the other side of the map, not in time. Whew, what a game. What a game. What a start to this series. Mindel should grab like 9 probes here and send it over to the 3rd. Or maybe the 4th, whatever. Impressive win by Mindel. He was really in trouble in this game a few times. Important that he doesn't throw it now. He still has that warp prism sitting here on the left. Has warped in 3 Archons. He is bleeding out some Zealots and Stalkers on the right. You think BabyMarine wins? I want to say it's not impossible, but I think it's quite unlikely at this point, mate. Because I think BabyMarine has to slow the game down. He cannot keep attacking with a tiny army. He needs a bigger army. But the longer he waits, the more problems occur. This might be a very good catch. Kill the prism, kill the prism. Okay, this is an amazing catch. He kills the prism and he kills all 3 Archons. Winged. Winged with the coal. I still don't think BabyMarine is quite there yet. But down 21 workers, down a base. He's got no income at all, though. He's got like no income at all. Colossus count is 2. I think the 2 Colossus is really problematic. It is very, very problematic. And there are 2 more Archons in the mix as well. How does BabyMarine win this game? Try, big EMP maybe? Land an EMP on the Archons and the sentries, turn around and stim. It's kind of now or never, mate. The longer you wait, the worse it gets. This is the fight. I think now if Mindel can just go home and he can enjoy this 60 probe economy. Dark Shrine, sure. I don't think BabyMarine can do it. Time to float over the 4th. You mean this? Maybe yeah. I just don't think that BabyMarine has the economy to build Medevacs, Ghost, and Vikings. He does have triple mule. Triple mule gives him hope. But this is the first time that I think he scouts that this base is here. Yeah, immediately starts moving out. Double drop did absolutely fantastic for us earlier in this game. Great first game between these 2. The matchmaking today, guys. It's been solid. Who is this guy? Who's in charge of creating these games? Is that me? Look at that snipe on that prism too. Well done, Breba. Oh, the observer knows about it though. This is unfortunate. We cannot afford to lose 2 full medevacs. We'll lose at least 1, and that is it. Army is derping a little bit. Could maybe try to EMP the Nexus and gun it down, but no, I think it's Mindel. After all this, I think it is still Mindel. Tiny drop in the back of the original 3rd is a good play. BabyMarine throws down a scan to see where the army is coming from, but this is a really big army. This is the kind of army that BabyMarine needs to take the best fight possible. We need a liquid Clem kind of micro, and I think even Clem would struggle winning this. He could probably do it, but actually a good point for us, Lork. I haven't seen too much of BattleB lately either. I think he'll play. I definitely think he will play in some of those EWC qualifiers. I hope to see him again at the Home Story Cup. I can see it happen. DTs are the last thing that BabyMarine ever wants to see. He's got barely any missile turrets. I think there's 1 or 2 on the edge of his main. He's got very few scans because he's been dropping mules like they are hot. This is an excellent choice by Mindel. A DT in the main, natural. 3rd. New War Prism as well. This is an orbital. This is the orbital from the main. Yeah, I think this game is going. I mean, 108 army supply. There is a chance. A tiny chance. No, a whole lot more than a tiny chance for BabyMarine, but there is a tiny chance. If you guys ask me, Roddy, would you be capable? Oh, okay. The tiny chance becomes even slimmer. I was gonna say, Roddy, would you be capable of losing this game? Before losing that medevac and the DT showing up here, I would have said yes. I think I could still lose this. Right now, I think it is very, very unlikely. And does snipe the disruptor. Mindel with that move out. The move out actually makes things a little bit awkward. You know what they say, guys? Never base raid a Terran. Is that still true after all these years? They also say you should never base raid a Protoss with DTs. That DT is very stuck. Can maybe land an EMP here, BabyMarine. 1 EMP, reveal 2 DTs would be good. BabyMarine. Ah, we're not scanning, we're not revealing. He's losing too much. He's losing way too much. The DTs are incredibly problematic. Definitely a very good first game. And kudos to Mindel. After that double drop, I thought he was in serious trouble, but made a great attack in the third, even though he walked his army into the ultimate death trap. Somehow got out of there with a couple of stalkers, and I think in the end he will clean it up. After 20 minutes, BabyMarine is down to 0 SCVs. He's thinking of a base trade. Like, maybe I can get a draw. No. Instead of the draw, we go for the GG. Once more, it is the Russian Protoss Mindo who takes the 1-0 lead, but this game was already closer than any of the other 3 games combined of the previous series. So it's a good start to this best of 5, guys. It's a good start. It can only be a draw if Protoss goes down to 0 workers and no more bases, or like it doesn't have money to build a Nexus or a probe. But obviously it was way too early to talk about draws with too many probes scattered around the map, still a base in the top right side. And I think BabyMarine knew that it just wasn't going to happen there. Alex pointing out that he thinks the force fields won him the game. I think the army positioning was already good, and even if the army of BabyMarine could have like stimmed down the ramp, there were just not that many medevacs. And before the fight even happened, he made a very big stim. And if we're building Vikings and we only have 2 medevacs and they've got 0 energy, stimming your entire army while not having a fight is omega painful. Yeah, it was a good decision to go for that many sentries in that phase of the game. Well done. Shout out to Weekend Dev for the 57 months. A man of culture. Me? Is that when we were talking about cars and my love for Volkswagen? I don't know if my next... I don't think my next car would be a Volkswagen. I don't know yet what we're going for, but we'll see. If we can dream big, it's that AMG A45. Those are big dreams. Round 2.
Round 2. Fight!
Top right side, we are looking at the main base of our Russian Protoss, up for no, Storm Gaming's MindelVK. Vespa. You guys know that I loved scooters when I was young. I had a Peugeot Speedfight 2. Silver and yellow, oh that was my baby. Anybody who grew up in the 90s will know. The era of the Gilera runners and Speedfights. I was a massive speed fight boy. Yeah. Bottom left side of ley lines, we are looking at the main base of the Italian pony, down 0-1, but playing a strong first game. This is BabyMarine. Oh. What do you mean with JDM? I thought dreaming big meant the Porsche 911. I mean, the Mercedes AMG is a pretty pricey car too. Porsche 911 is not really a realistic dream. Not right now, at least. And also, I feel like if I'm like 45 or 50 and then I show over the Porsche 911, everybody will just think that you have a midlife crisis now. I don't know too much about the Japanese cars, no. Not what my dreams are made out of. I don't have a car, Infinity. I had a Volkswagen Golf, a very slow one, but we sold it recently. So right now, I have no car. I've got a lot of miniature cars. But I have no actual car. But we'll change that, of course. Just used the Volkswagen very little and didn't really feel like there was much sense in having it at the moment. RS3, like an Audi? No, that's a bit much too, mate. Proxy Gateway on the side of Mindo, and BabyMarine has not SCV scouted, but good news is that he's going for a double gas opening, depots here, factory in the main, so no low ground CC to worry about. This doesn't have to be that bad yet for BabyMarine. I have a regular bicycle, yeah, but I very rarely use it. Basically, Zuidland is very tiny, so I can walk everywhere, and if we go anywhere further, I can use public transport and let Vicky drive me. Or sometimes I drive in Vicky's car. I have no motorcycle license, so no Ducati, even though that would be a dream. The Ducati 848 Evo is my dream bike. If I ever get my motorcycle license, I'm going straight for the 848 Ducati. That will probably be the last time you guys see me. Few SCVs doing a very good job. First in repairing the reactor, then in repairing each other. Now that is love. 3 Stalkers, by the way, is problematic. That is a lot of DPS here. That's going to be a little bit tricky. I think it's okay to bleed out a few more SCVs here. Oh, BabyMarine, this is tricky. Cyclone feels late, no? The Stalker count is already so high. Why is that Cyclone still nowhere near done? Something must have gone terribly wrong on the side of BabyMarine as he loses Marines, loses the Reaper. At least the Zealot is gone. The Zealot is the highest DPS unit. We need this Cyclone, and we really can't afford to lose the Cyclone either. I think we're gonna lose that reactor. Can we kill at least one Stalker quickly? That is a first Stalker kill. Probe is in the mix. Please do not lock on the probe. Do not lock on the probe, and do not lose your Cyclone. You lose the Cyclone here, it's game over. Ooh, this is tough for BabyMarine. It is very, very, very tough. He's taking so much damage, and it's not double orbital, by the way. It's still single orbital. Misclick there by Mindel, as Mindel accidentally shot at the barracks rather than the Marine. I mean, it's pretty bad for BabyMarine, but it's also not the end of the world yet. It's just like kind of pretty bad. Like the Nexus is not totally done yet. Stalkers won't have blink anytime soon. Factory already up. Main base now completely safe. I don't think BabyMarine is happy. I think if anything he's pretty unhappy. But this is also an investment that BabyMarine should be able to take care of later on. So that's going to help him a little bit. Very uncomfortable position to be in, and it's a real shame for BabyMarine that he lost his Reaper. I don't think it's even. I think that there's a lead for Mindel, but I also don't think it's the kind of lead where we can say it's game over. But I do think it's Mindel advantage. Force field would be very painful, by the way. Really don't want to lose the Cyclone. Dark Shrine is a smart follow-up. I like that. I don't know if BabyMarine is going to go for Raven or not. Going for this Cyclone is risky, but okay, gets it rather quickly. Does eat a couple of pretty big tank shots to the face. If this is a Raven, it's pretty decent for Brabba. If this is a Banshee, okay, it's a Raven. And in a perfect world, we kind of keep the Raven at home, right? Wow, charge first. What the hell is this? A wing end build? MindelVK, a Russian Protoss who has won 4 matches in a row against BabyMarine on the Friday night in the Big Brain Bouts, is going charge first. And the thing is, if you're BabyMarine, you never ever expect it. Because you see 7 Stalkers here. Like, why would this ever be charge first? It shouldn't, right? This should never be charge first. Now he is going to get a bunker that's really big. He keeps the Raven at home, but he's also thinking, oh, please don't lose it, mate. Oh man, he's flying the Raven out. He just dropped all the mules as well. Are you kidding me? Just when the Raven leaves and we dropped every single mule, the DT is going to review itself. Oh, Brabba, please raise your... It's so painful. So painful. The timing of the Raven leaving the natural, dropping all the mules. We have 1 scan available in like 10 seconds, but it's so frustrating. So freaking frustrating. DT makes it into the natural. Will not get the tank. The other DTs in the main. Friendly fire does not kill the tank. Maybe this tank, yeah. This means that Mindel gets further ahead. But Mindel still does not have blink. Does not have a forge. Does not have a robo bay. Definitely, I think, looking good right now for the Russian Protoss. Because the DTs went for tanks rather than SCVs. Obviously, a lot of lost mining time. That mining time really adds up. If you only have 2 bases and your tech is not very developed yet, having all this lost mining time is a really big loss. And bigger problem now as well is that the Raven was halfway across the map and then was forced to return, right, to provide detection. That just makes it even grimmer. BabyMarine has absolutely no clue what position Mindo is in. Like, if BabyMarine would see the numbers that we see right now, he'd be like, huh, okay, kind of bad, but it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. But he doesn't know that. In his mind, this could be 3 bases fully saturated with 10 gateways, double forge, and a 4th base coming online. This is a big scout, I think. Seeing that this Nexus is only now finishing up at minute 8 is a big scout. It's a very big scout. And now in a perfect world, you click on these units and you see like 0, 0 upgrades, no attack, no armor. Okay, maybe it's not that bad, right? The other day you asked about the League of Legends fighter 2XKO. Did I? Oh, you mean the new Riot Games fighter? Yeah, sorry. I was like, what is 2XKO? I know Broski, by the way. Let's go. I mean, I can't do anything with that info, Ruptured Balls. I can take a look at the VOD maybe later. I think it's still a work in progress, but I wonder if Riot Games is going to hit a home run with that game. I've heard mixed things, right? Some people seem very excited. Some people seem to be like, oh yeah, it has potential, but a lot of work to be done. Curious. One of the OG Twitch guys, Ben Goldhaber, his nickname is Fish Sticks. He was like one of the founders of Twitch, literally many years ago. Worked on a lot of different programs. I think he's working on this fighting game right now. This is an absolutely amazing catch for Mindel. Snipes one of the 4 medevacs. That is so rough for BabyMarine. When BabyMarine was 4... Oh, this is such a painful game for BabyMarine. Very painful game. Couple of good Widowmine shots here though. One Zealot obviously was split up. Crazy fight. Such a frustrating game for the Italian. In the end, too much HP in this immortal Archon army, and for the 5th time in a row, it is Storm Gaming's the MindelVK who gets the dub. Obviously, 1 3-0, guys, could happen, but if you get back-to-back 3-0s, you're simply the stronger and better player. Now, that first game was mega close. This game wasn't that close. I do think, if you want to make an excuse for BabyMarine, or you want to give a reasoning behind this game, is that this was just an incredibly unfortunate game. Legitimately an incredibly unfortunate game. And with like 1 or 2 things going slightly different, it would have been so much easier, but yeah. If buts and maybes don't count, in the end it is Mindel 2, BabyMarine 0. And we're going into game 3. Yeah, that is correct, Francie. He was a big Starcraft fan. I think he probably still likes Starcraft, even though... you know, a lot of these guys, they just moved on, right? They became League fans, or they became Street Fighter fans, or they obviously grow up, so they've got other responsibilities in life, and they can no longer be a full-time StarCraft fan. But I'm sure that Ben is still a little StarCraft fan, deep down inside. He saw no Nexus and no reaction? What do you mean? He didn't scout, mate. He didn't SCV scout. I literally pointed out that he didn't SCV scout. That is obviously a risk. If he would have SCV scouted Roddy, would have this been easier? Yes, because then he can build a bunker immediately on the top of his ramp. And then he can get ready for this. The Reaper is... by the time that the Reaper is on the other side of the map, you wish the Reaper was not on the other side of the map. He cannot build a bunker anymore if there's already a Stalker in range of shooting at his SCVs. He reacted to the best of his abilities, giving that opening. But yeah, this game is a prime example of why sometimes SCV scouting is incredibly worth it. 2-0 lead, but not over yet.
Round 3. Fight.
I do agree that it's risky to send the Raven, but it's also like if you're just in the dark forever and you have 0 fast units, loading a medevac up at that point is not an option. Maybe you can say like keep the Raven at home and scout with an empty medevac, and maybe that's your best opportunity to have a feel for where you're at in the game. But obviously, once more, guys, we see everything and we can exactly say what is a good move and a bad move. BabyMarine, I think 8 out of 10 times there, it makes a good decision by sending out that Raven, because it shouldn't be charged first and it shouldn't be DTs. It should transition into a regular Blink Stalker Zealot and then maybe DT game, but it wasn't. No. Yeah, the Cyclone was definitely late, right? Maybe he didn't fire it up, or that is one mistake that I think was there, because that Cyclone, if you open up with 1 base double gas, should be earlier. Bottom right side, it is MindelVK up 2-0, 1 map away from winning $80 on the Friday night. Top left side of Maganata, down 0-2. It is Reynor's younger brother, the Italian Terran player, BabyMarine, representing Streamer Zone. Sumo, I do not know yet if I'm gonna be in Dallas. That will be decided basically within 48 hours if I can go to Dallas or not. The thing is, I've said this before, I don't think that Dallas is gonna be anything like last year. And that does not mean that I don't think it's gonna be awesome. I think it's gonna be really awesome. I just don't think there's gonna be like a big stage and ESL production, Pro Tour, all the cast is there. So it's not really like that. So it's not like, hey Roddy, will you get invited to cast Dallas and will you go? Like, if I go, it would be for different reasons. Right now, Terran is the weakest race. I wouldn't go that far. I think actually the balance at the absolute highest level is quite good. Now, if we go down a couple levels, you can definitely say that it's harder to play Terran or it's harder to play Zerg than it is to play Protoss. At the absolute highest level, the game is quite balanced. Maybe even very balanced. You go because of the barbecue and the guns? No, I would go to cheer on my boys, mate. I would go to have a great time with amazing nerds that are passionate about Starcraft. And have maybe make some cool content. What if 128 players signed up the week before DreamHack? What are the odds that they could run it? I'm certain they can run it. I think it's very, very different than last year. So I don't think that there is not really any stress. Because the production is going to be, I think at best, like 1/10 of what it was last year. So then it's a lot of moving pieces. Now there are very little pieces. I think it will be a fine event for the players. But I think for the fans, you'll definitely see like a big difference of like, hey, this is not like the ESL Pro Tour. But that kind of stuff costs a lot of money. What's going to happen in Dallas? DreamHack. DreamHack obviously always happens. Starcraft 2 is not the reason why DreamHack happens or not happens. DreamHack is a big standalone event, and then they have a lot of esports events over at DreamHack. Okay, I don't know why we just shot it at Twilight, but we did. Patches, you'll have a great time, mate. I really want to make sure that everybody understands. When I say like it's not going to be like last year, that doesn't mean that I don't think it's going to be fun. I am certain that there will be a lot of StarCraft people, there will be a lot of StarCraft 2 players. You're going to have a great time. Just from the production side of things, and with my job, what my job would be outside of being now a BASILISK manager, my job would be to be a caster. In that way, it's going to be very different for me. So I don't think I have the same opportunity as I had last year. But outside of that, I'm sure it's going to be a great time. You mean cast it from home, Scorpion? I don't know how that works yet. We'll learn more about it soon. And if you mean for all the players to be online, like why would they? Offline competition matters, right? Zero ping gaming. Everybody playing on the same PC specs, same conditions. In that way, offline gaming does matter. Same frenzy, I'm not saying anything bad about it. I'm just trying to keep the expectations realistic. And also when people ask me if I'm going to be there or not, it's like, well, it's not as simple as it was in the past. But I think it's going to be a great weekend. I think StarCraft fans will have fun. I think the players will have fun. Well, no, they are not. Analysis. I do send the replays sometimes to Winter and Loco. I'm sure that some of you guys, if you follow those YouTube channels, have been like, hey, I've already seen these games. Roddy's casted them. They always ask me. That is the only time that I share them. Other than that, I don't like sharing replays of tournaments unless players are aware of the fact that replays get shared. And since that is not something I tell the players, that is not an agreement, I do not just share them. Till the end of July we're cracked. It's after that. I am not too worried, mate. You guys know, a lot of you guys talking right now about how well StarCraft 2 is doing, right? You guys understand that StarCraft 2 has, or excuse me, Warcraft 3. Warcraft 3 has not had a circuit since the year 2008. It's just always been a scene. It's there. People organize tournaments. They happen, and they move on to the next. They've been doing this since literally 2008, 2009. I used to be a participant in the circuit that we had, and it was obviously a lot smaller than things that we have these days. Games do not have to die. Just because there is no all year round circuit. If the community is there, if the passion is there, if the interest is there from gamers and viewers, it will not go anywhere. Fighting games, I know that like in Street Fighter right now you've got like Capcom Cup and they've got a circuit and they've got the Street Fighter League, but fighting games forever have just kind of like wait until the next big thing, right? And have local tournaments. And I think Starcraft 2 will go up and down, but it's not like, oh, after July it is all over. No, nonsense. It's gonna be different, but definitely not all over. I'm not sure about RSL. I'm not sure if that's the saving grace, but I do love the idea. I love anybody trying to come up with something and have ambitions of making something happen, but I don't know. RSL is I would have done it different. I think especially when it comes to online StarCraft, there will be so much action. Look, I think these days there's literally StarCraft 24/7. Can't even do a ladder stream because on any given moment there is a tournament. Obviously some of them are very stretched out and some of them are maybe not the absolute highest of level or doesn't have everyone, but there's so much esports for StarCraft 2. Sometimes I do maybe agree with Lambo that it's a bit too much, where it's like, well, no matter how much you love SC2, you can't watch everything. You just want that map contest at Goal 4 or whatever. And for you, mate, I hope it happens. And for those guys, I hope it happens. But Raven flies into the main base, drops a couple auto turrets. 8 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. A couple of little pokes so far, but it's been very macro focused, macro oriented. Mindel fires up a disruptor. 9 gates, 1 robo, 1 forge. She's gonna get a second robo and take some extra gases. And that's kind of just where we are at. We are chilling, we are macroing. Raven is doing good. This game definitely looking a lot better, a lot more solid than the previous one. The previous one was just hell. Absolute hell for the Terran. I am obviously starting to lose a little bit of faith for BabyMarine. You know, one unlucky best of 5, you lose 0-3, it is what it is, but you lose 2 of them in a row. You now lost 5 official games in a row. It just becomes rough. But I do think BabyMarine has some of that very strong Romiti mindset deep down in there. And he may not be as clutch as his bigger brother yet, but I believe it's in there. And I believe over time we can see more of that. Let's hope he can channel some of it today. I think the split is a little bit extreme, Yuki. I love every effort. I love people doing nice things for StarCraft 2, but I think crowd raising, maybe let's say like potential 100k and then 15k goes to the players and 85k goes to production organizing. I am well aware that organizing offline events is incredibly expensive, but I just I think that's a little much, right? Like, I do think that casting becomes a lot better when it's in duos and people are next to each other. Like, I'm a very strong believer in that. I think having people in the same space, casting from the same area, it just makes everything flow a bit nicer, and you can do handoffs and you can do hand signals. So the casting definitely does improve. But I don't know if it's worth that much, right? I'm also a much bigger fan of, like, I like duo casting, but I don't really like duo casting if I cannot see the person I'm casting with. Because then you accidentally talk over each other, you don't really know when somebody's done or when they're hyped, and it's hard to match energy. It becomes a lot better. If you're sitting next to each other in the same place, it does become better. But there's still like hey, what's better for the scene? Is it this or is it that, right? Holographic co-casting soon. Yeah, mate, give it another 20 years and I'm sure that's no longer an issue. You got a favorite co-caster? My all-time favorite co-caster will always be Jeff in control. You can never compete with that. But outside of that, I always love casting with Demu. I think he's a great caster. I had a lot of great years with Nate. I thought Nate was an excellent caster, like really, really good. And I thought Nate and I complemented each other very well. I also loved casting with Mr. Bitter. I thought we were a very good team too. Of the modern day casters, I would say Ben is the easiest, just because I'm the best friends with Ben, as in DeMusliM, Demu. Don't know why we're building double dark shrine. But also I love casting with Zombie Grub and Pig and Artosis. Like, they're all easy. All of them are easy and good to work with. I think ZG is very good. I think Piggy is very good too. But if I can only choose one right now, I pick Demu. Where does Reynor fit into the tier list when it comes to casters? Honestly, Reynor is very good. I love to cast with Reynor. Because I'm good friends with Reynor. We have the same kind of sense of humor. We vibe well. So if you ever put me in the same place as Reynor and we cast together, it'd be fun, for sure. Marines, Marauders, and Ghosts. BabyMarine, his micro can be excellent. It is not just his life of this best of 5, but it's a bit of his ego on the line as well. BabyMarine wanted the rematch with MindelVK. Game 1 was excellent. Fireworks. Very, very close. Came down to the wire. Game 2 was brutal and annoying and frustrating. Game 3, it's a fair fight, but it's probably a very nerve-wracking fair fight. Thoughts about Rifkin? I always got along with him, Rifkin. Actually, it's funny that you asked that, Graf. Because there was a time in my life where I thought I got along very well with Rifkin, but it turned out that he actually didn't like me. And I was like, what? Like, what happened? And then he explained it to me because we had a sit down, and he's like, yeah, I thought you did this thing on purpose. I was like, what? I don't even know what you're talking about. I legit did not know. And after that, we always were friendly, and we did a lot of online casting together. But yeah, there was a point where he didn't like me for something I legit was not aware of. It's a long story about sharing a cast on the ESL channel and time zones and whatever. But yeah, I have no issue with Rifkin. But to somebody who's not really relevant right now in Starcraft, right? He was around for a long time, but eventually he moved on to other things that he's passionate about, and that's not a crime. Maynard is awesome. Maynard is a goated caster in my eyes. Maney is an absolute legend. Nova's flying towards BabyMarine's army non-stop as Mindo is getting omega rich. BabyMarine is just buying some time, guys, for big upgrades like advanced ballistics and +3 ground weapons, +2 air weapons. I know, Crispy. That was such a bizarre interaction where I was like, wait, what? This is a thing? I didn't know. I thought we were friends. He's like, well, kinda, but I'm really mad over this thing. And I was like, what? And after that, we were fine. I hang out a lot with Rifkin at the DreamHack Montreal back then. A very big fight here, a potential series-defining fight. BabyMarine's micro is definitely clean. I'm just starting to feel, guys, that this is no longer a fair game. Where the Protoss is getting richer and richer. And Mindel, okay, maybe if he donates all the disruptors, there is still some hope. He doesn't. He donates 2 of them. Feels like an unfair fight. You look at these banks, you see 3,000 minerals, 3,000 gas against a Terran that is unfortunately no longer maxed out. Can't really afford to keep on maxing out. And is down to 300 minerals and yeah, a lot of gas. But Terran ain't Protoss. Yeah, knock down the cooling tower perhaps? I don't know what. Oh, what? Okay. I wasn't even sure where that was coming from, but okay. Maynard, he's streaming, Yucky, and people often ask me, Roddy, what does a person X, Y, or Z do? It's like, guys, take a look at that channel. Maynard streams like multiple times a week. He plays a lot of, I want to say it's Duke Nukem, but it can also be Doom. It's one of the two. He's doing like a lot of shooting games. A lot of the guys that leave StarCraft, they're not like done with esports forever. They just do other things, but they're still live on Twitch. You can still stop by their channel. It's not a crime. Doom Nukem? No, it's one of the two. I think it's Doom. I think he plays Doom. Not really my kind of game, but I like Maynard seeing. I like seeing Maynard do his thing and be happy. I don't speak Russian and Graf, so I can't say. But I hope he's an excellent bratan. Also, yeah, he does a lot of the Dark Souls stuff. But I think that's more of a temporary thing. Doom is like what he plays all the time. By the way, with BabyMarine, guys, losing a bunch of SCVs, his army supply is becoming incredibly sexy. Now, BabyMarine needs to take an amazing fight and then somehow clean up all the reinforcements as well. But with Liberators and Advanced Ballistics, you kind of want to always believe a little bit. We can't say that these games have been bad between them, and we can't say that BabyMarine is playing bad. He's playing a lot better than he is a couple weeks ago against Mindo, but starting to believe that Mindo is just really freaking good. Especially, it's kind of like Shameless, right? Shameless is so good against Terran, and Mindel seems to be very good as well. We have a bunch of DTs getting on top of the triangle. Slicing up the SCVs. Planetary Fortress on the fire, gets gunned down. Good zoning Novas as well by the Russian Protoss, Mindel. Feels like this is something BabyMarine cannot possibly keep up. We went for the rematch, something we very rarely do, because we believed that a few weeks ago it was just a bad series and it could have been so much better and more exciting between these two. And I do think that was the case. If you guys watched the previous best of 5, you know that that one was very underwhelming, very one-sided, and didn't have a lot of oomph to it. This was a much better series, a much more exciting series, but it's still a 3-0. By the looks of it, and it is still mostly MindelVK as BabyMarine does try to stim down the ramp. Guns down a couple of these Marauders, but it's or Disruptors with the Marauders. But in the end, it is just not good enough. Mindel too rich, too powerful, too many bases, and it is back-to-back trios for MindelVK. I think that means there is only one last thing we can do, and that is send out Reynor next week to take care of MindelVK. You know, picking on his little brother once is acceptable, but doing it twice back to back, oh, I think this sets the stage for Reynor versus Mindel. Turbo banger. Reynor Terran, no, Reynor Zerg. As try-hard as it could possibly be. Alright, that is the second of the 4 best of 5s that we do on the Friday night. You guys know the drill. This is all brought to you guys by Basilisk. Make sure to show love to my team, guys. !Basilisk. Join the Discord. !Discord. Without Basilisk, we could not do it. And while we live in the era of crowdfunding here, crowdfunding there, we don't ask for anything on the Friday night. Every single Friday, we give out $500 to the gamers, which I think is very important. So please show some love to my team. It really makes a very big difference. This was the prediction. You guys believed in Mindel, and Mindel delivered. You don't like 3-0s. Nobody likes 3-0s, but kudos to Mindel, man. Back-to-back 3-0s over BabyMarine. It's just really impressive. I can't say anything else. Thank you to Scuffler for the 5 gifted subbies. Scuffler, our MVP of the month of April, I believe. Thank you, matey. Alright, third series of the night. The co-main event, AZVZ. Since the Zergs are refusing to play on the Mondays in any of the Open Cups, I just summon them on the Friday. That's what I do. We've got Iba versus Young Yakov coming up next. And after that, it is Serral time. Serral versus Classic. Best of 5. And the winner gets $100. The loser gets 25. Iba, UKZ. Young Yakov, RUZ. Give you guys 15 minutes to get your predictions in. It's a co-main event of the BBB. And as I already told you and explained to you since 2 hours ago, if you have questions, mate, you can do !B or !bracket. And there you can see the order of games. You know that this one was played first, this one was played second. Now it's Iba versus Young Yakov, and in approximately 45 minutes we should have Serral versus Classic. Same order as always. Would it be possible to have an extra stream showing only Serral's point of view? That's only possible if Serral decides to stream. For that to be possible, you need to convince Serral to stream. Join his Discord, join the Basilisk Discord, put in a request, and there is a chance. Is it likely that's going to happen tonight? No. Is it possible? Nothing is impossible. Just ask hard enough and maybe it happens. Take a couple minutes. After that, I'll be back. Iba versus Young Yakov is coming up. And after that, it is Serral time.